You are set, sir.
Thank you. Okay, I'd like to call the Reynolds School Project Building Committee to order. It is our regular meeting on Thursday, October 20th, 2022. It's about 5:25, I believe. Jeff, could you do the roll call for us, please?
Yes, members are asked to signify their presence when their name is called. Councilor Camillo, Councilor Rada, Ms. Drazad, Ms. Parati,
Here.
Ms. Dugan,
Here.
Mr. Wetzel,
Here.
Mr. Woods.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, Jeff. Next item is public participation.
Nobody with us.
Excuse me, we have nobody with us. Next is take action on invoices. Jeff, I know you have some for us.
Yeah,
Minutes first.
yeah, you've got
Let's
prior
get
meeting
minutes.
minutes
Oh, I'm sorry.
for
Right over, yep.
October
Take action
6th.
on, which we have one from October 6th. So
Right. And you have two members who are absent, who are not reflected on the minutes. But I would need to know exactly when they came into the meeting and what the first thing that they voted on was.
okay. So I don't think I jotted
And
it.
once I know that, I can issue corrected minutes.
Yep. Can we look at the tape after the meeting, in the next couple of days and then do it that way? Unless you guys, I'm sure you don't remember exactly when you entered, do you? I think it's Carol and
Even if they
Jan.
can just tell me what the first thing they voted on was, I can probably back into it from there.
Okay.
So
Jeremy?
I came in about
Yeah,
about the same time I came in today.
About isn't going to make it. I need to know exactly when.
Oh, okay. So whatever we voted on first, I was there for that vote. So whatever that time was.
So
Well,
it'll be
you voted
taking
on the
action on
minutes?
invoices. Oh, yeah. What about minutes? Did you vote on the minutes or invoices, Carol?
Invoices. I wasn't there for the minutes.
Okay, so invoices, Jeff.
Okay.
Jeremy?
Yeah, I think I was in Mr. Smith's room. I want to say it must have been minutes that maybe I voted on when I got there. I got in a little late. Let's say it was pretty close. It was like 5:20. Wasn't sure what was going on,
All
but
right.
I'd say
Well,
about
if
5:20.
minutes were the first thing you voted on, I'll figure it out. Okay, thank you.
All right, so we'll just leave this open until next meeting when we have the correct times.
Right.
Thanks, Jeff.
And your invoices, there were 11 invoices presented for the committee's consideration. There's one from the project architect for $6,116.36. There's one from the mover for $255.68. There's one from the construction manager for $744, $698.25. And there were 8 from your special inspector and materials testing lab. And those 8 came to $12,025 even. And the total of all 11 invoices is $763,095.29.
Okay, anybody have any questions? Again, these have all been approved by Eileen, our owner's rep, as well as Newfield. If there are no questions, if someone can make a motion that we approve the invoices.
I make a motion, we approve the invoices.
Jeff, do you need me to read the dollar amount into the, or you have it?
Actually, I didn't catch who made the motion.
Carol,
Okay, thank you. And she's approving the 763,095.29.
correct.
Okay,
And a second? Jeremy?
I'll
Amy?
second.
Okay, thank you, Jeremy. Seconded by Jeremy. Jeff?
all right.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 No one's opposed, I'm sure. Good. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is financial update. That's going to be Eileen. I think Eileen hopefully is Actually, is she here?
I'm unmuting. Yes,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
here. All right, I'm gonna
It's
go
funny, if
ahead
you
and,
mute, I lose your picture. I don't know why.
oh. Interesting.
Once
Okay.
you're
Let me
back
share
on.
my screen for the budget. There we are.
See everybody.
Okay, can you see this all right? Or do I need to make it larger?
I'm fine with it. I'm sitting in front of a 25-inch screen.
Okay, so the invoices that we had here, one of them was the KBA invoice, so that affected the architectural design fees, paid to date here. Then we had services for moving. And let's see. The other one. Actually, let me just pull up the invoices.
You have to reshare
I do.
because you're sharing a different document. There you go.
Sorry about that. All right. So mainly there was a lot of tri-state, which is the materials and special inspections. And that is for the masonry, cold form framing, concrete, all the testing for inspections that we need to do. I know you said you had some questions. The KBA invoices for the architectural fee. And then we have the monthly Meyer storage fee, which is $225. Also, one thing I wanted to point out here, and I scrolled too far. Construction. I did go ahead, here's Newfield's application, which was for the $744,698.25. And I also put in the change order, which is in the credit amount back to the owner of $446,000, $396.38. So that's a plus back to the owner.
But that was part of the original.
No,
Oh,
no, that does not include the value management. That was actually a larger one for the metal panels. And then Newfield will probably, Rich, are you going through the PCOs?
For the ones that we have for this week, yes. I've also got
Yeah,
the
the new ones.
PCCO,
Okay.
but I wasn't gonna go through the detail on that one.
And so, all right, just for everyone's knowledge, this PCO 1 or change order 1 is for PCOs 1 through 13 that were previously approved by Newfield. And I will go ahead and send out the PDF for the budget. Does anyone have any additional questions on invoices or change orders?
Anybody? No, it doesn't look that way. Thank you, Eileen.
Okay, I'll send that out to everyone.
Okay,
Thank you.
yep. Jennifer, architects update.
Hello, quick update is that we did review the application for payment number 4 from Newfield, and all the backup from the contractors. So I just want you to know that we reviewed that, and in your packet, I had already signed off on that. We also reviewed potential change orders that are listed there in my report, 14, 15, 18, 20 through 23. And I think that Rich might run through those a little bit more. But we reviewed and found those acceptable, recommend those for approval. There's a prime contract change order that Eileen mentioned. We reviewed that, but that is just PCOs 1 through 13 that were already brought to the committee and approved by the building committee previously. So those are just wrapped up in that change order. A recent team activity is generally the same as the same construction activities and attending meetings, reviewing questions, submittals, all of that normal activity. In addition, we've closed in on furniture. There's an outstanding question that we have for the administration before bringing that to you. But I do want to report that we have scheduled a meeting with the state to review the furniture package. And the meeting is scheduled for November 21st. It's a Monday at 1 o'clock. I need to send the invitation out to some of the key players to attend that meeting, should they want to. And if anybody here wants to attend, that's fine. But we plan on bringing the furniture to the state. And one thing to know is that the furniture package is, there are things that can be purchased from a state contract. So this package doesn't go to bid. What happens is purchase orders are cut for any of the furniture when it's appropriate to cut those purchase orders and purchase those things. So if at some point you decide you want to pull back and not, that we don't want to order a certain group of furniture or a certain quantity or whatever, it can get pulled back on. It's not going out to bid as one package. There are state contract pricing that we can benefit from. That pricing is applied to each one of the items, and that's what we're taking to the state with your permission to take it to the state. So at the next meeting, we will have what we call, or what the state calls in SCG 042. We went through this process when we brought the construction package, all the drawings and specifications, when we brought that to the state. The building committee chairperson, superintendent, and board of ed chair all need to sign off on this form saying, okay, you can take it to the state for review to get the state's approval. So we have the same form this time around for furniture for FF&E. So that'll be coming at the next meeting to hopefully get your approval to take it there. Part of our documents, besides the specifications and drawings, it will include the estimate, and you'll get to see, where that's at. We're just trying to stay in our, in the budget that was allocated for the project at this point, for the furniture part of the project. And that's it. If you have any questions.
Any questions for Jennifer? Okay, we'll move on. Actually, before we move on, I have a question. Jeff, on the prime contract change order, number 1,
Yes.
encompasses 1 through 13. Do you need us to take action on that? Because it is,
No, you've already voted on 1 through
Okay.
13.
right, so 1 through 3, and you're fine with that, right? So
Yes.
all this
As a matter
really
of
does is
fact,
a
I
document that
received
asks.
something from the construction manager, and I did not pass it along to the committee because it was something that you had already approved.
Okay, all
As long as
right,
you're voting on the individual PCOs, I think that's all you really need to vote on.
and I would agree with you, but I just wanted to make sure you were okay with that.
Okay, right.
All right, Jeff, thank you. Owners, project managers, update. Eileen.
All right. So basically, without repeating Jennifer and Rich's items, just spending a lot of time at the site, making sure things are going well, a lot of meetings, resolving things on site. Just talking to the owner frequently. we're keeping things moving. Any questions?
Amy?
Yeah, just quickly, is there anything like that's happened in the last month or so that we'd be interested to hear? Any issues you've resolved?
I think you're going to hear that in a combination in the next report from the construction manager, and Eileen will probably chime in along with Rich.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine.
Yep. Nobody wants to steal Rich's thunder.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve.
All right. Okay. Construction managers update. Rich?
I'll start here with some pictures that we have of the site over the past couple of weeks since the last meeting. This first one you can see here is the admin space conference room in the back. We completed the demolition for the existing brick masonry that was there, exposing the foundation wall, and we cut the slabs, and from that point we were able to understand the existing conditions there, and we're currently working on fabricating steel to go into this opening that'll support the roof, so that the temporary columns that you see there, there's 5 of them in this picture, so those are temporarily supporting the roof structure. We're working on the steel for that, and we'll get that in place. That'll end up supporting the roof and the exterior facades as well. Inside the building, we've been working with metal studs going up, and here you can see 2 of the toilet rooms. The overhead copper piping is the plumbing supply lines, as well as vents and drain lines. You can see it coming through the walls and out of the slabs in these areas. You can also see in here is electrical boxes are being roughed in, electrical wiring is in place, and we're working through that through this C-wing, the admin space in the nurses area of A. We've also had our ductwork delivery taken to the site, so you can see some of it here. We've got the furring going up on the walls as well. You can see more electrical rough happening inside. Overhead, you can see a piece of ductwork that's hung in the air, and the additional pieces that are on the ground. We keep the blue tape over the ends. That keeps any construction dust out, so it keeps the whole system cleaner. If necessary, the systems are cleaned as needed, but the more dust we can keep out of them during construction, the better. It just makes for cleaner process for the whole time for the HVAC contractor. We've also got here the sprinkler piping. You can see on the right side of the page, the sprinkler heads are the flexible whips that have those orange caps on them. Those have been added. We're using existing sprinkler piping in these areas and replacing the heads. Going over to the elevator addition, the slab, this is the elevated slab, upper slab at the top of the staircase behind the kitchen area in the courtyard side. So looking out from, this is looking from the corridor into the elevator vestibule. This is where the elevator machine room will be. So we have the electrical stub ups on the right side of the room coming out of the floor for power to come into the machine room space. And here's another angle of that looking into the shaft. So how this elevator functions is that there's a door on the front side and the back side. So at the upper level, you're exiting on the side that you see here. And in the bottom left side of the frame, you can see where the doorway is going to be at the lower level. Yeah, it'll be opposite side of the cab. The elevator is scheduled for delivery on Monday morning. We're going to be taking advantage of the time when the students are not in school for the holiday. So we'll get the elevator delivery then and begin work. We've coordinated with Jason in the gym as well as the coach to use some of the gym space to shake out this elevator and get it into the shaft in just over a week's time for the elevator contractor to do his work. This is another shot. This is from the lower level looking into the elevator shaft. That slab has also been poured. We've left these doorways wider, which is what the rebar is in these pictures. There will be additional block to come in around the frame, but we need to get the elevator into the shaft first, set all the controls up for the elevator as far as any conduits or electrical panels they have. Then we'll be able to close up the rest of the masonry walls as well. That's all I have right now for photos, but we're also doing some work up on the roof. The roofer's been on site cutting open for the new roof drains to go in the admin space in the C wing, as well as cutting the edges of the roof for some parapet metal framing to that ties into the exterior facade as far as the walls go, and tying into the roof to raise the level of the parapet to accommodate the thicker insulation that's going to be on this roof than what is currently there. We're working through some just field conditions that we're finding, being a renovation project. As we do this demo work, we're discovering what the true conditions are here. There's been, with the 1950s building, with different additions over the years, there aren't necessarily consistent details followed through the building. So we are working with KBA and CSG on identifying those issues and coming up with solutions for them. Sometimes each different section of the building, it's a different resolution. So we're having field meetings to resolve these issues as quickly as we can, and working with our contractors and their detailers, their draftsmen, and their engineers to find some solutions when we do come across these issues. Go here is the PCO log that we had discussed before. 14, 15, 18, and 23 are all changes that have effect for the owner. PCOs 20, 21, and 22 are all back charges between subcontractors for work that was performed that needed to be billed, is billable back to another trade contractor. So there is no cost to the owner on those, hence the $0 value. These were sent out by Jeff last week, so anyone's had a chance to review them and has any specific questions on them, we can look at them, but just a brief description. PCO 14 was some mechanical changes due to the elevator being how the job was bid with KBA's drawings and specifications. You can't predict who's going to win the elevator contract, and every elevator manufacturer has a different mechanical and electrical requirements. So this PCO captures any of the work that had to be done there for mechanical changes, which was mechanical conditioning in the machine room. PCO 15, we had to rework some fire protection mains. As I said earlier, in the C wing and the part of the A wing, we were keeping the fire protection mains and reworking the heads, but for coordination with other ductwork trades and other plumbing trades, we had to modify some of the sprinkler lines, and this is the cost to do that. There's additional phone for the temp spaces that we constructed over this past summer. Additional phone lines that were not originally shown, so our contractor did add those. And there was a phone line that got cut in room 5 at some point over the summer as well that had to get just temporarily patched back in, which is PCO 23. So if there's anything specific anybody wants to review, please let me know.
Is there any questions? Again, we were sent these earlier, I think in the week, is when Jeff sent them out. I don't know if anybody has any questions. This is the kind of stuff that we will continue to expect to see. I think they've been doing a good job of keeping the numbers down as far as the additional cost to us.
I just have a question, and
Yes.
I know in this case it's a tiny dollar amount, but cut lines in 21 was no charge, but cut lines in room 5 is a charge. Like, how is that determined? Who pays?
The cut lines that were actually part of its 20, 21, and 22 were all cut by the demo contractor. cut line in 23 was not by the construction trades. It was an owner related issue.
Okay, so basically who caused the issue in that case?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Okay, anyone else? Merit, you can go on.
Okay. We said we don't need to review the PCCO number 1, but I'll just show it real quick here. It does encompass PCOs 1 through 13, like we discussed before. So these have all been reviewed.
Actually,
So
before we move on, I think the committee needs to vote on 14, 15, 18, 20, and 21 to 23. I think they need to vote on those PCOs.
You're right, Jeff. I'm slacking today. So yeah, I would entertain a motion that we approve PCOs 14, 15, 18, 20, 21, 22, and 23.
So made.
Thank you, Jeremy. And a second?
Second.
We kind of
Second.
already discussed it, so all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thanks, Jeff, for catching that.
Thank you.
Okay, Rich.
okay. So yeah, like we said, the PCO 1 through 13 are being caught here in this PCCO number 1. So we'll be executing that to get all the trade contractors covered there. We've been, like I said before, we're going through finding some existing conditions in the building. We're also dealing with some material procurement delays. So this schedule is something we had discussed this past week, and Jason is aware of it, and as well as Lou. And we've revised some dates here for the stage 1 and stage 2. Turnover dates and start dates for these are shifting by up to 4 weeks here for the turnover, the first stage to end of January, as opposed to the end of December. In short, this last block down here, lines 5 through 11, are major items that we're tracking that are what we see as our biggest issues going forward. A lot of these things are procurement type things with long lead time durations. We're figuring out some last details here as well for some of these exterior wall items, just how everything lines up with everything that's been demoed in the existing building. So we're working through these conditions, and we'll keep everybody updated as we go. But like I said, for right now, we're shifting the stage 1 turnover to January 20th, and we'll be taking over the B wing turnover the 4 weeks later, but we'll work during the second stage to pull these dates back. So by the end of the second stage, we're projecting about being 2.5 weeks behind on that, and we'll keep working to pull that date forward.
Any questions?
I'll just say, yeah, it definitely is, 4 weeks, about a month behind schedule. So I'm sure it impacts the teachers and the students who are expected to move into those rooms as part of stage 1. And then obviously the stage 2, it's good that it looks like the timeline, you're able to make up a week and a half, but that's still 2.5 weeks of time that could then potentially just be a domino effect. So just be interested in, making sure that obviously you're going to keep on track of on the dates and try to pull them in, but there could be unforeseen delays for stage 2, 3, etc. So just a concern.
Yes, and one of the things too we're working through on this first phase that we hope to not have issues with on future phases is things like these classroom AHUs, for example. There's 2 of them in this first phase, and they were ordered back in June, and we still aren't expecting them until another almost month for their ship date. But once we do have them, we have them for the entire job. So it's things like that that are, aren't anticipated to be issues in future phases, that once we get over that with this first phase, as well as some exterior walls, we're able to see a lot of what's happening now on this first section of the building, and kind of helps us know what we're looking for on the second stage here, so we can get in there early and make sure that the conditions of the foundation wall are what we are seeing in the other areas. And we'll also have the engineering worked out on these precast panels as well ahead of time. So things should, on the procurement side, should be able to be quicker in future phases.
Jeremy?
Yeah, just a couple things. Thanks for that explanation. It looks like there's a couple things impacting the schedule from what I'm just understanding you, just hearing you say. One, you're still having materials trouble at this point. Is that still happening? I think you said yes. There's a few things that you're waiting on. Do you
Yes.
anticipate this to continue in the industry? I mean, I'm not privy to the construction industry. I don't know how things are improving or if it's going to be a further detriment down the road.
Things I would say are improving. Fortunately for our job, a lot of the things are getting ordered well in advance now, because everything was ordered for this first stage and is arriving for the entire job. But there continue to be issues across the industry. Electrical is one of the big ones. It doesn't matter which manufacturer you work with, they're all, some of them are a year out from the time you order equipment. And, those have been well over a year now. I think we've been seeing that type of lead time. So hopefully this isn't something that continues in this industry, but it's some unfortunate thing we have to deal with right now.
Okay, and so my other question too, just looking at the scheduling, let's say we do stick to the first week of June, does the impact of getting, those are the final days of school at that point. I know that's next year already, but still, it'll creep up on us quick, I'm sure. Looks like 6/8/22. I think school, when is, depending on snow days and all that, it's in that neighborhood, right? Where
Yeah.
school would end. Is that going to cause a problem or any issues at that point?
So our date is about a week before the end of school. It is something we've presented to Jason. So Jason, if you'd like to chime in on this as well, but that is about a week before the end of school, not counting any snow days.
Yeah, I just add that the goal is to have that second wing done before the end of the school year, so we can transition everyone in a timely manner. Yes, the last couple of days, I would envision it being less disruptive if it's close to the end of the year, because it would be change and it would take less time away from teaching days. But our goal would be to be able to make those changes, a week before the school year ends.
And just so you know, too, Jason is obviously kept abreast of all of this, on an ongoing basis. So none of this is a big surprise to him. He works on and thoroughly with the design team as well as the construction team. And I'm not saying he's going to be happy with every decision that's made, but he's informed. It's, it's not a surprise when he hears it. Okay, I think we're set, Rich.
Okay, that's all I had for
Okay.
my presentation.
Right. So it brings us to any other business pertinent to the committee. Jeff, do you have anything?
No, I don't. Your meetings in November are on the 3rd and on the 17th.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have anything that they want to bring up? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so last meeting, I thought it was great to be in the school and be able to see, what's going on. We had a discussion about the wall outside. Is there an update on that, or are we still gathering information?
They're gathering information. The architect has made comments on the wall, and they're back now to the contractor. And it's in the contractor's court. I would say by the next meeting, we should have resolution on what's going to happen at that point. So they're still trying to remediate it, obviously. They're trying to do what they can to make it compliant with the contract documents. And we need to give them that chance.
Yep, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Public participation.
Still nobody
Anybody?
with us.
Okay. Comments by members. Another opportunity. Anything? Yes, Carol.
I just want to apologize for being late. I was coming from Rocky Hill and the traffic over Cedar Mountain is crazy at that time of night. So I apologize.
Yes, that's not the street you want to be on at rush hour. Not in Newington anyways. Okay, so a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Carol. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Hi.
There's never anyone opposed. Good night, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good week, everybody.
Yep.